Your turn to hold the camera this time.
Fine.
What's up, guys? So I know a lot of you have been asking me to do an updated room tour, and I thought it is high time to do it because I actually just moved to Denver, which is probably one of the biggest life changes I have ever gone through, but luckily my good friend Martin, who is holding the camera right now, is here with me, so that's pretty cool. And as a result of moving here, I have a brand new room slash studio slash workspace, so I want to give you guys a tour and show you some of the gear that's in it. Let's go. Welcome to the brand new studio. So the biggest thing about this room is that it's no longer a room for me to really hang out in or sleep in. It is entirely a work room at this point. It's my studio, it's my editing space, it's where I do a lot of my B-roll and animations. I've been able to actually turn this space into something that I can dedicate 100% to creating videos and podcasts. And I'm gonna show you some of the gear that I use to make all that happen. So let's start with the desk here. I think the most standout part of the desk here is these monitors, which are on these arms here. So these are the Dell U2412M monitors. I got these a few years ago, and if you're looking to get monitors like this, these are excellent, but there's actually a new model called the U1524, I think it is. And it's basically the same price, but it's better in every single way, it has more ports, so definitely get that if you're looking for Dell monitors. They are each on a Freedom arm from Ergotech. I decided on 2 singular arms rather than 1 dual arm because the desk goes up against the wall and I wanted to have a little bit more flexibility with how the arms were structured. And then let's see here, what else we got here? The desk itself is the Jarvis bamboo standing desk, so I can actually move it up to a standing height. I can move it down to a sitting height, and that lets me vary up my work day. I can spend some time standing, I can spend some time sitting, and that is much better for my back and my overall health. On the desk we have a Logitech gaming mouse. We've got a SteelSeries mouse pad, which is my absolute favorite mouse pad. I think it's the best mouse pad that exists on the face of the planet, so definitely get that one if you're looking for a new mouse pad. And the Razer Black Widow keyboard, which I've had for a few years and is still going strong. These are Mackie, I think they're called CR4s, and they are studio monitor speakers, so these have a very flat sound profile and they allow me to mix audio in a very accurate way that's good for a lot of different types of audio systems. Podcasting setup, we've got a boom arm. This is, I think it's a Heil boom arm, and on the end of this boom arm there is a Shure SM7B microphone. This is actually the microphone that Michael Jackson recorded Thriller on and is what I record all of my podcasts and voiceovers for videos on, and that goes into a Mackie Pro FX8 mixer, and this basically gives me fine-tuned control over all of the audio levels. And I've also got a little Tascam recorder hooked up to it, and this thing just lets me take a backup recording every time I'm making a podcast or doing an interview, so if the power goes out or something, I'm good and I've got a backup recording. One other cool little feature of this desk is that it's got this swiveling drawer built in. So I've got quick access to the stuff I use most often: scissors, pair of headphones that I use for phone calls, Sharpies, pens, pencils, got some sticky note pads in here, a pencil sharpener, and I do stash some SD cards down there for when I need them as well. And then over here we have a flip out box cutter, which is useful for when packages come in. And then there is the chair. This is the Office Master OM5, and it's an ergonomically designed chair. I figured that if I'm gonna be spending 40 or 50 hours a week sitting on my butt editing videos, I better be doing it in something that is designed for keeping my back healthy. So I got this a few months ago, and it is excellent. It was an excellent investment. So over here we have a curtain that basically never moves. In fact, it is attached to the wall. Over here I've got my whiteboard where every single night I write what I'm gonna do the next day. So Thursday, this is what I wrote last night. I've also got a cube organizer here. This is from Target. You can get it at pretty much any Target that you want. And this is where I store pretty much everything that I need to access on a regular basis. So down here I've got a lot of filming gear. There's mic cables, XLR cables, my DJI Osmo cameras in here, GorillaPods in here, all sorts of cords, and an iPhone mount for filming on the iPhone. Top drawer, we've got more pens and pencils, all the like office stuff you get from Staples pretty much. Well, a whole lot of other kind of stuff in here, extra batteries, lots of really boring stuff, but this thing is probably my favorite thing here. This is the Perplexus Ultimate, and it's not really for work, but it's like my favorite toy ever, and it's just really good for taking a break and doing something kind of tactile when you don't want to work. Another thing I'll mention about the cube organizer here is I have this plug strip that's actually Velcroed down to the surface, and this just gives me easy and instant access to outlets for charging my camera batteries, my iPad, and keeping the shredder plugged in when I want to shred stuff. I've also got some command hooks on the wall to keep these headphones nice and organized. This is the one I use for podcasting, and this is just a pair of headphones that I love and that Sony doesn't make anymore, so I try to keep them in as perfect a condition as possible. And then we have the YouTube subscriber button. So let's move on to the part that I am most excited about. So for the past 2.5 years, I have had to set up and tear down some part of my filming setup every single time I've wanted to make a video. And now I don't have to do that because I have room for the tripod, for the boom arm, for the shotgun mic. This stuff can stay set up. I can walk in here and I can film a video just like in 20 seconds pretty much. And actually to that end, one other little piece of automation I've built into the room is over there. You can see there's this little remote on the wall, and this actually controls some remote controlled outlet plugins, and that controls the video lights. So if I hit one of those buttons, the video lights over there are going to turn on, and if I hit another one, these backlights behind the desk turn on. Also, this is another part of the setup I'm really excited about. This is my overhead shooting setup, and basically what this allows me to do is slot my camera right into this overhead hanging tripod mount, and that lets me do my whiteboard animations and all sorts of other overhead demonstrations really easily. This thing is something I built out of stuff from Home Depot, but I used to have to fold it up and put it away every single time I got done using it because there was no room. But now I've got this space. This is just a simple tabletop and some A-frame legs from IKEA, and that helps me keep it up at all times. Over here I've also got my lenses so I can easily swap out. I probably use 2 lenses or 3 lenses per video, at least 2, sometimes 3. And then over here, we've got the different surfaces I use for the overhead setup. So if I want to do a wood background, I can just slot the wood right there and go to town. Or maybe I want to do this nice green pattern. Bam, there you go. Or I can do cork. So I guess the last thing is the closet here, and this isn't really all that exciting, but I know some people are going to want to see it, so I'll just show it off here. This is basically where we're keeping all of the stuff that doesn't go anywhere else in the apartment, but I do have easy access to some other things like my toolkit. So anytime something needs fixed or upgraded, all the tools I would ever need are in here. I've been building a collection for quite a while, and now it's pretty useful. Now the one thing that you don't see in here that you've probably seen in every other iteration of my room is my bookshelf. And because I wanted to have the tripod and the boom arm set up all the time, I couldn't fit the bookshelf in here, but that's okay because I actually found a better spot for it. The last part out here, welcome to my brand new reading corner. I thought this was a much better use of this piece of furniture than just sitting behind my tripod all the time, and now I've got a great spot to read during my morning routine, which I do every single morning. I've got a glorious picture of Nick Offerman right there, picture of Professor Layton back there, nice lamp, and all these books that I haven't read yet. So this is where I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the future. So guys, that wraps up the room tour. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you're curious about any of the specific model numbers or you want links to any of the gear that was on my desk or around the room, I'll link to as much of it as I can down in the description below. Now, before I wrap this video up, I do want to let you know about one other thing, and that is that my podcast, the College Info Geek Podcast, has a YouTube channel now. So if you haven't gotten to the podcast yet, there are over 50 episodes over on the YouTube channel. I'll have that linked in the description down below as well. And if you like the stuff on this channel, I think you're really going to like the podcast as well. It's got a mix of fun banter and conversation, but also a lot of in-depth content. Sometimes I interview other experts. Sometimes I just talk with my friend Martin and we take questions from you guys. And sometimes we each go and do research on a particular topic and then come and share the lessons we've learned. And I think you're gonna get a lot out of it in any case. So definitely go check it out. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it. And if you have questions or topics you want us to cover on the podcast or on this channel, let me know about them down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.